Good afternoon. It's the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you for a little bit. I don't. This might be a short show today. I'm not sure. Because I'm not feeling amazing. I don't feel horrible, but I don't feel amazing today. Um, but good afternoon. Come on in. Say hello. Like I like y'all to do. I like y'all to say hi. I like y'all to tell me where you're checking it out, where you're checking the show out from. Robert Willis, first up, says, those up to, all right. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining the show. Miss Pittsburgh, thank you. Thank you for joining the show. Thank y'all for y'all support. Maria, good afternoon, representing North College Hill. North College Hill in the house. Anthony, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. P. Copenhaver, my Twitch follower. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the show. Good afternoon. We got Preston in the house. Avondale, representing Avondale. All right. We got Anthony. Did I already say Anthony? Yeah, Anthony. He said he's been waiting since 12:45. I don't know what that means. We got Jason. Good afternoon from Mason, checking us out. Regina in the house. Regina, good afternoon, representing Beachmont. We got D, says Westwood in the house. Good afternoon. Again, thank you for checking us out. Carolyn, good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. As people kind of drift in, I know Wyatt's still on. So as people kind of drift in, we'll get into stuff. We got Pamela in the house. Good afternoon. She's checking in from North Avondale. What are you trying to do? Sorry, the thing is trying to do some weird stuff. Sean checking in. I know he's representing ATL. All right. Can't beat that. Good afternoon, Sean. Good afternoon. Daryl. Put it up there. I've missed this show every day for months on live. What time does the show start? Hi from Clifton. All right. Daryl representing Clifton. First, welcome. Thanks for finding us live. I try to start around 3 o'clock. Sometimes I'm late. I have other obligations. I got a job. I got other stuff that I have to do. Sometimes I got to go pick up the little baby. So, yeah, I have a lot of other things that I have to do. But I try to start at 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Don't listen to any of the lies about me not being consistent. Them are lies. Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock, I'm typically here. Anybody say anything different, they lying to you. And you shouldn't accept it. What else we got? But thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate the support. We got Daryl. McConnell. McConnell, Fairfield. All right. That why? Yeah, I see why it just went off. So thank you. McConnell, for checking me out. I appreciate the support. Then Daryl. Say what up? What up, Daryl? Nick, representing Blue Ash. They glad to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm glad that you're here. And make yourself at home. If you want to go in the refrigerator, grab something, go ahead. It's cool. Let's see. Tria, representing Columbia Township. She says, hey, everybody. Hey, Tria. Again, thank you for your support. I appreciate everybody's support. In this case, support just means checking us out. Look, I don't ask nobody for no money. I don't sell stuff. I was supposed to be selling some shirts, but one day we'll discuss that. Either way, support don't mean financial, and support don't even mean agreeing with me. When I say I thank you for your support, I appreciate you coming over here, spending a few minutes, however much time you got to watch this crazy dude ramble on your phone or your computer or whatever. That's what I mean, and I appreciate it. Brenda, representing Fairfield. Oh, we got a few people in Fairfield. All right. Well, let me see. Let me see. McConnell, see, don't start that, McConnell. Don't start that. Don't start that. Don't have people thinking stuff that ain't true. Mary, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Representing White Oak. We got Marquetta in the house. Checking you out. I understand CP time. It's not really CP time. If you don't mean it to be. Vincent in the house. Choking from Lambden. Oh, I'm not sure what that means. But thank you for checking out the show. I hope you're all right. Sierra, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Daryl, yes. Yeah, go on up. I got a little thing next to the refrigerator, a little, I don't know what you call it, cabinet, whatever. That's where I keep the ginger snaps. Go on in there. Help yourself. And you don't have to worry about the little baby because she don't like ginger snaps. They hot, grandfather. They're hot. She wants flour cookies. Can I have some of those flour cookies? So they lemon archways. I don't know what the hell no flour cookie is. No, you can have the ginger snaps. Just, if you take the last ones, put some new ones back. Or at the very least, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm taking the last of these ginger snaps. I'll be cool with that. I just open up a second bag so they can start getting stale. LaDonna representing downtown. We got Steban, good afternoon. Yes, ginger snaps are the best. Never had lemon ginger snaps. All right. See, y'all trying to get me all caught up. Y'all know I'm addicted to this stuff. Where do I keep the Nutter Butters? That I can't tell you. Nutter Butters is I can't tell you where I keep them. If you find the Nutter Butters, help yourself. But those are hidden. Let's see. No, I don't do no Capri Suns around here. Straight Kool-Aid. I don't know. I've been on this making Kool-Aid thing. Well, really, I think it's because one day I know exactly what it is. I went to, it's the restaurant. We Do Barbecue. Got some stuff to eat. And they were good. I enjoyed the food. But one of the drinks that they were selling was Kool-Aid. And you could get a cup of Kool-Aid. And I was like, why would I buy a cup of Kool-Aid from a restaurant when I could just go to the store and make some Kool-Aid? So that's what I did. I went to the store. I bought some Kool-Aid. Of course, I had to buy some sugar. Mrs. Livingston don't let me keep a lot of sugar in the house. But I had to go buy some sugar and some Kool-Aid. So now I got all this Kool-Aid and I got all this sugar. I got to make it. I tried some, I'm going to talk about something a little bit serious in a little bit. But they got this flavor of Kool-Aid. I don't remember what it was. It was like blackberry or something like that, red berry or something. It was the worst Kool-Aid ever. Like, it tasted like cough syrup. It tastes like cough syrup. It was horrible. And I had to drink 4 quarts of it. And Mrs. Livingston kept saying, why don't you just pour that out and make some other Kool-Aid if that's nasty? And I was like, but I mean, it is still Kool-Aid. You can't, just because it's nasty Kool-Aid, it's still Kool-Aid. It's still a nice sweet drink. But it did taste just like cough syrup. It was nasty. I was complaining to her, like, oh, it's nasty. And she said, then pour it out. Who pours out? Because I don't make, you make 1 pack makes 2 quarts, but I got a 4-quart container. So I make 4 quarts. And we're just going to pour out 4 quarts of perfectly good, nasty Kool-Aid. No. You just got to drink that down. You just got to drink it. It was probably blackberry. That is horrible, and that tastes just like cough syrup. Yeah, I don't remember. It was something berry. The word berry was in it. And whatever you do, don't buy that. Unless, you like that syrup. Because you could do the syrup without the whatever else they put in it. Because, what is that? Like cough syrup. And do people still drink that? Do they still drink that anymore? That was a thing not too long ago, well, about a decade ago. Do they still drink that? It was cough syrup, but it was like cough syrup, like medicated cough syrup. But what was it that was in the cough syrup? I can't recall. But it was the cough syrup. It was either way. If you like that, then yeah, this berry stuff might be for you. But that was the nastiest Kool-Aid. I'd never buy it again. Tropical punch or tropical punch mixed with pink or yellow lemonade. Yeah, codeine, Jay. Thank you. Blackberry punch. He's saying that's what it is. Blackberry punch. Whatever it is, don't get it. Stick with the tried and true. Stick with the tried and true. And you know what I'm saying? You can mix stuff. Like what if you mix the orange with the lemon lime and it turned brown, but it's delicious. It's orange and lemon lime and you mix those and it turned brown, but it is delicious. But I'm not, mixing stuff today. I'm not mixing stuff here recently. I'm just going straight, straight grape, straight lemon lime, straight red cherry. Yeah. Straight cherry. Now it's lean. Oh, let me see. Let's see. You just didn't put enough sugar in it. You don't have to lie to us. Bro, if you don't believe me, go get it. Go get it. You put as much sugar in it as you want to. It still tastes like cough syrup. It's nasty. Nasty. Orange and purple. Yeah, okay, there you go. Orange and purple make brown. Either way, it's delicious. It's delicious. Hold on. You say my ENT told me they don't prescribe the codeine cough syrup anymore because too many people abused it. That was the only thing that got rid of my cough. You do be having that rough March shot thing going on. Maybe they could make an exception for you. So I haven't had Kool-Aid in years. I hadn't either. It had been, I couldn't even tell you really the last time I had Kool-Aid. I couldn't tell you the last time, but seeing it at the restaurant, I was just like, let me go buy some Kool-Aid. But anyway, so yeah, no Capri Sun. All of that from Capri Sun. No Capri Sun. It's straight Kool-Aid here. It's straight Kool-Aid. You need that old tussin. Let me see. There was something that I wanted to discuss. Valerie says, eat natural spearmint leaves, Emanuel. For what? I'm asking. I'm not saying I'm necessarily against it. Why am I eating natural spearmint leaves? What's the purpose? Let me know. I didn't call you Marge Shot. You are not Marge Shot. Marge Shot was Marge Shot. I just, from time to time, you sound like Marge Shot. What? It's true. Um, okay, I was listening to Wyatt. I caught just a little bit of Wyatt. Um, and a couple things. I'm not sure where Wyatt is getting his information about Israel and Hamas and Palestine and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know where he's getting his information. But when I tell y'all, I don't know. I said this before. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it. With regard to me, I don't know nobody that live over there in Israel. I don't know nobody that live over there in Palestine that actually, could give me updates on what's actually going on from a on the ground perspective. I don't know nobody over there. I don't take the word of the media. I'm sure some of the stuff they're saying is true, but I'm equally sure that some of the stuff they're saying is exaggerated and or blatantly false. So I don't take the word of the media as kind of like a gospel. And again, the reason that I don't do it is because I've seen reports of stuff. Y'all know I got a brother. He goes by Nate. His name is Emanuel Livingston Jr. And I remember when he used to be in the media for different stuff, and they used to report stuff about him in the media here locally. And people would just run with it, and I would be like, I know that to be untrue, but they reporting it like it's true. Certain things about him, like that's not true, but they saying it like it's true, and they're here. Like they could just call him and ask him, but I know what they're reporting. Like I know. So I'm like, I can't necessarily. Well, I can't accept what they're saying as true because I know it to not be true. But other people would be saying it and talking about it in such a way that, it was enough people because it was reported. So people saw it written down, because this is back at a time where people were still reading the paper and all that kind of stuff. People saw it written down, and I don't know why, but people just assume if it's in the paper, they must have fact checked it. So it's got to be true. And I'm like, no, they didn't. It's not true. They don't always fact check. And sometimes they just roll with whatever the story is or what seems logical to them. They have a few facts, and then they take leaps and say, because you know how you do. Like, oh, if he did this, then it's reasonable, it's logical that he might have done that. Right? And that's what they do. Now, if I know that they did it here, and y'all know some of these stories, like when a Cincinnati story goes national and they start reporting stuff about it, and because you hear, and you know a little more about it than, what's her name? Hoda. You know what I'm saying? You know a little bit more about it than Hoda. And Hoda up there, she don't know. She reading what they wrote for her. And you like, that's not true. Like, no, that's not the way that happened. No, that's not true. It couldn't have happened that way. Just geographically, it couldn't have happened that way. What are you talking about? That's the way I view it. It's Israel. Unless you're over there and you know somebody over there. I mean, even then, you can't 100% accept it. Come on, we done all did the the kind of whisper, the circle where you whisper one thing to one person and then they got to whisper it to the next person. And then by the time it's over, the last person got to say what you whispered out loud. And it's something totally different. And you're like, where did that come from? I didn't say none of that. I've seen national stories about Cincinnati on the news and heard somebody from Cincinnati being interviewed on the news, and it's like, no, that's not what happened. You got it wrong. But they from Cincinnati. They from Cincinnati. They must have got it right. They must know what's going on because they're from Cincinnati. No. They're probably more accurate than Hoda, but it don't necessarily mean that they're accurate. So when I see coverage about what's going on over in Israel and Palestine and what Hamas is doing and how, I'm like, some of this is probably true. Some of this probably ain't. And I don't know where the in between is. So, because McConnell, that's a good question, if I'm reading it right. So what the hell should we go with, E? Or should we just believe none of it's true? There really ain't rockets going off? No, I mean, you can believe your eyes to a certain extent. I believe some stuff is going on over there. I just don't necessarily believe, like, who bombed the hospital? I don't know. I wasn't there. It sounds like something Hamas would do because they told us Hamas is evil. But it also sounds like something Israel would do because they believe Hamas is evil. And, you know, they dropping bombs. So, how do I know what's true? Who bombed the hospital? Well, the news said, Biden said, Israel said, Hamas said. I don't know. I don't know. And to answer your question, McConnell, so what the hell should we go with? I don't know. My take on it is this. Something going on over there. I'm probably never going to know the real full story. I'm probably never going to know the facts. So I kind of take information, as they say, with a grain of salt. I accept that what they're saying could be true, but may not necessarily be true. So I don't get so dug into it that I adopt a position that I'm unmovable on. Because I don't, and look, y'all, I don't think that what I'm proposing that a lot of us should do, especially, you know, not being there, I don't think I'm proposing something that sounds crazy. I don't know that you can go with the odds. Odds are you can't go with the odds, especially if it's a war. What are the odds on who bombed the hospital? What are the odds? If you ask me, it's 50-50. Hamas did it. Israel did it. Somebody did it. I'm not picking a side. I don't know. I'm quite comfortable with I don't know what's true. I'm not one who gonna sit here and tell you, you know, look, odds are Hamas did that because that's the kind of people that they are. I don't know what kind of people they are. We've been told they evil. But I did hear what was purported to be a Hamas fighter on the phone with the news people, which is, some of this stuff just be crazy, y'all. Some of this stuff, and I would have I don't have time to like pull up clips and stuff. Well, he was on the phone with a news reporter on speakerphone, like, we'll release the hostages if Israel stops the aggression. And I'm like, why are you telling this to a reporter? When did the news become the negotiator? Like, you live on, what was it, MSNBC? You live on MSNBC negotiating hostage release with a reporter that can't do nothing. And somebody will look at that like, but they did offer to release some hostages. Somebody else, no, that was propaganda. They didn't really want to release no hostages. Odds are that I don't know what none of this stuff is. I know listening to dude, he didn't sound evil. You know what I'm saying? Do that mean he not? Well, he got some hostages. Clearly, he admitting that he got some hostages. Don't that make him evil? No, not necessarily. It's a war. Huh, you really don't think Israel got some Palestinian or Hamas hostages or prisoners of war? You don't think they got any? I don't know. Maybe they don't. Odds are they do. I'm not picking a side because I don't have enough information. Y'all, that can make me whatever y'all want that to make me. I don't have enough information. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, y'all can all make y'all decision based on the news. Say, but it's not necessarily just based on the news. I mean, you see them interviewing people. People saying like, hey, they kidnapped my relative. Okay. I believe that they believe that their relative was kidnapped. Possibly. Some of this stuff is propaganda. Look, I was watching George Stephanopoulos' show, and Martha was doing the show, and there was this Israeli guy kind of leading her around, showing her, the houses and stuff and everything. And some of that stuff looked straight staged to me. Some of it, now, could have all been true. Could have all been true. But some of it looked staged. That's the blood on the wall where he killed the people laying in their bed. I was like, that looked like somebody threw that up there. That looked like somebody threw that up there. That looked staged. See this car? It got bombed out. And we had to kill the guy that was in there, or they drugged the guy that was in there and killed him. And they blew up the car. That's his backpack sitting right on the hood. The hood is all mangled, but the backpack is pristine. Who set the backpack on the hood? They sat it up there after they bombed the car? Some of it looked staged. It looked like propaganda. Just because it looked like propaganda to me don't necessarily mean that it was. But, if you blow up, you sit my backpack on the car and then you blow up the car, my backpack gonna have something on it, right? A little smoke, soot. It was pristine. Like, that looked like. And it just stayed there after it got blew up. Who made that backpack? I got to get me one. I don't 100% believe any of this stuff. So I'm not taking sides. You want me to go with the odds? I don't go with the odds. It's war. I don't know who doing what. I don't know who telling the truth. I don't know what made Hamas do what they are alleged to have done. Bust into the musical festival, beheading babies. I don't know what made them do that. I don't know if it's stuff that their ancestors did or stuff that they did last week. I don't know what Israel is doing to Palestinians. to put them in a position to feel like we need an organization that'll go do some terrible stuff to try to convince these people to stop doing terrible stuff to us. I don't know. And that makes me a bad person because while I see what the news is saying, Tiffany says, you seriously don't know what made them do that? Israel is occupying their land and killing their people. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I'm not over there. I don't know. Why is this so hard for people to get? What I believe and what I know are not necessarily the same. I can believe anything I want to believe, but that don't make it a fact. That just means I believe it. Tiffany says, it's literally documented in history, documentaries, books, etc. So everything in a book is true. Everything in a documentary is true. That's what you're saying? Everything that we're told is actual history. That's what you're saying? So you believe anything you read. Because remember, not too long ago, Christopher Columbus discovered America. You can find a documentary that says it. You can find a book to say it. And you can find things that are supposed to tell you what happened historically to say it. So it's documented in history, documentaries, and books. Does that make it true? It was a fact when I was growing up. Like, no question about it. It was a fact. A fact. Gravity. It was a fact. You know what I'm saying? You believe that just as much as you believe that gravity exists. You believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America. It was a fact. Come to find out, that fact wasn't factual. I wasn't there. I don't know. Again, what I believe and what I know are not necessarily the same. Daryl says, man, I'm following a Palestinian on Facebook, and he is there in the middle of what Tiffany is saying. This Palestinian is saying the same thing. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying I don't know it to be a fact. I believe it, but I'm not one of those people who tells you that just because I believe something makes it a fact. Just because a lot of people said it and I believe it makes it a fact. Tiffany, you can believe it if you want to believe it. You can accept it as a fact because we know everything the Rothschilds said is fact, right? And again, I'm not telling you that it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm trying to get y'all to understand. B-Rap says, some people just hear what they want to hear, bruh, instead of listening. Right. The mayor said he gonna sell a railroad and give you half. Yeah, Tiffany, it must be true. The mayor said it. Tiffany seems to believe, Sierra, if it's in a book, it's factual. If there's a documentary made about it, it's fact. If if it's in a accepted as history, it's a fact. If the Rothschild said it, it's a fact, unquestionable, undeniable. That's what she's suggesting. And I'm not suggesting that those things aren't factual that she's saying. Just, again, this shouldn't be hard to grasp for anyone. It shouldn't be. It may be, but it shouldn't be. I believe stuff that I know. You can't change my mind on stuff that I know, because I know it. Even if everybody else says it's not true. If I know it, like I was there, I watched it happen. I know exactly what happened. And somebody else come out, oh, that's not what happened. That's not what I heard. I don't care what you heard. I know what I know. I'm not here to convince you. Now, if you ask me, I'll give you the information that I have. But I'm not here to convince you that the truth is the truth. I'll tell you what the truth is. You can accept it or reject it. So when white people put slavery was a misunderstanding in a book, is that a fact? It must be. It's in a book. It must be. So that's why I don't, I'm not demonizing Israel. I'm not demonizing Hamas. Not doing it. Not doing it. I'm not reading that book, Tiffany. I'm not doing it. If you want that much to say, give me a call, 513-717-KING, 513-717-5464. If you got that much to say, just call. It's easier. It's easier. Oh. What else? There was something else. Something else. With regard to the U.S. giving aid to Israel, I understand it. I guess. They're our ally, whatever that means. They're our ally. Tiffany says, I don't want to call, so I'll shut up. I'm not telling you to shut up. I'm just saying I'm not going to read that much. And, you can keep talking. I mean, keep typing. But, I'm not little here, little there. But I'm not telling you to shut up. I don't do that here. You can say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say. B-Rap said it's some serious stuff. As black people, we can't win no matter what side we take. It's a lose-lose-lose situation because we get criticized if we down the middle. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm on nobody's side here. I said earlier, I'll say it again. I pray for everybody involved. I'm praying for everybody involved. And I also heard Mr. Wyatt. Again, I got the chance to listen to about 10 minutes of his show. And he was going in. Not on anybody in particular, or he might have been, I don't know. But, he was going. And one of the things that he said, and I might be taking it a little bit out of context. I might be taking it, I'm saying ahead of time, I might be taking it a little bit out of context. But he was saying he's not paranoid to be concerned about his loved ones, in particular his children, on flights and, terror attacks and all that kind of stuff. He was saying he's not paranoid. Not paranoid about that. And my kind of pushback to that, not that you're paranoid. I don't believe you're paranoid. I believe being concerned about realistic things is not being paranoid. But what I don't understand, and I don't know if he's watching or listening, but what I don't understand is, if I say I get concerned with my child, with my nephews out there riding these streets, getting stopped by police, and maybe getting killed by the police, I'm told it ain't really no big problem. I mean, sure, it happens, but if you telling me that it don't happen every day in America, if every day in your city the police ain't killing somebody, then it ain't really that big of a problem that you got to be concerned about it. So I would say to that same thing, if every day in America a plane ain't being hijacked and bombed, the thought process behind that seems backwards to me. Because I don't have a problem with people being concerned about terror. Even though it doesn't happen literally every day in America, it's still a legitimate concern. So why hold black people to that standard? Why hold black people to that standard? If police don't kill a black person every day, then, your concerns is you paranoid. I don't know that that's true. And I don't understand why the different standards. I don't understand why the different standards. I don't think it's paranoia either way. I think it's wise to understand that there's an issue. And as I would like to say, keep your head on a swivel. Be aware that there is an issue. I'm always concerned when I get on a plane. I am. And no, I'm not just looking at the Arab-looking people. Even though I do look at them. I do be like, you can't check that book bag? Like, what, You sure you can't? Oh no, did he just leave that book bag sitting there? He walking away? What? Yeah, I do be paying attention to that stuff. I do. But guess what? I pay attention to it with everybody. I'm just as afraid of some militant white man doing the same thing. That's not me being paranoid. That's me being aware. Even though it don't happen every day of the week. B-Rab says, it's funny to me that everything we was blaming Trump for, Biden is doing it. Prices up, World War III on the brink, America is falling. This was supposed to be under Trump watch, not Biden's. What was people blaming Trump for? I know people blame Trump for kind of this rise of hatred. I think he participated in that. People blame Trump for lying all the time, and he did. People blame Trump for, not really being all that concerned about coronavirus at the beginning and try to downplay it and make people believe it wasn't nothing. He did that. He admitted that he did that. But who blamed Trump for being on the brink of World War III? And America is falling? I'm not even sure what that means. Help me understand. Help me understand. Preston says the only terrorists on U.S. soil is the police and white supremes. I think you meant like white supremacists. You don't mean white people out there pretending to be the Supremes. I hadn't seen that group. No, I'm being ridiculously stupid. I don't know that I agree with that. I imagine that there are a lot of terrorists in America. I would imagine that. Hold on, let me. Oh, stop it. Terrorism is the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. Yeah, there's a lot of terrorists here in America. There are a lot of people who unlawfully attempt to intimidate people in the pursuit of political aims. A lot of them. Yeah, silly. It's the White Supremes singing group. Supremes. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. I knew what you meant, but it was funny seeing it. When you see it typed out, it becomes funny. So yeah, no, I disagree that there's not a lot of terrorists here in America. I disagree with that. But I don't believe that's paranoid. But apply that same logic to black people. That's all I'm saying. Apply the same logic to black people. When I walk out the door, I'm concerned. When I interact with law enforcement, I'm concerned. I don't feel bad about being concerned. Don't feel bad about it at all. What else? There was something else I wanted to talk about. I looked for a story because I heard Lincoln Ware say something today. And I looked for the story. And if somebody can find it for me, I would appreciate it. Tell me where it is. Where he claims that Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney, who I like, for the record, I like Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney. Lincoln Ware said, Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney suggested the people be on the street takeovers, doing donuts and all that type of stuff in the street, that maybe they set them up at Hamilton County Fairgrounds. And that's a place where they could go and actually do that. And, maybe keep the streets safe. Now, I didn't see that story. I didn't see her say that. But if she did, I wonder, is anybody going to threaten her kids? Is anybody going to hope that something bad happened to her kids? Like they did to mine when I suggested it? Not suggesting that what they're doing is legal, safe, sane. You know what I'm saying? It's a suggestion. But I've heard people disagree with it. But I haven't heard anybody hope that her kids get killed by it. I haven't heard that. when I suggested it, I was crazy. I wanted them to get away with it. I wanted to see people get all kind of nonsense. It's not a horrible suggestion, y'all. It's not a horrible suggestion. Yeah, he did say that. She said that today. Okay, again, I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying I didn't see it. Andrea says it's on WCPO. Geneva says, does she have children? I'm pretty sure her and Eric have children. I've heard Eric talk about his children. I don't think he was making it up. But man, I don't know. Maybe he was. That's what I heard. Maybe I'll have to double check. Are you suggesting, GC, that maybe she doesn't have children and that's the reason why nobody is praying that her children get hurt? I'm clearly not praying that her children get hurt. I don't think it's a bad suggestion. I don't think it's a bad suggestion. Matter of fact, I think it's a pretty good one. LaDonna says, I left. Who are we talking about? Why would you leave? Just lock it in. Stay here. Your boss needs you to do something. Tell him, look, I give you permission to say, F you, boss. I'm listening to the afternoon experiment. And if he fire you, let me know. Or she. You know, it's 2023. It could be a she. We're talking about, just let me know. If you lose your job because you watching this little thing, experiment, let me know. But we're talking about apparently Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney made a suggestion that I think it's a suggestion worth thinking about. That, hey, these street takeovers, why don't we maybe let them do that over at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds? Let them do that. Let them do it. And I suggested something like that not too long ago. And people wished really bad stuff on my children. So GC says it won't be as fun. The whole point is to take the street over. Who told you that? Who told you that? You talked to one of the people who took over the street and they said, well, we don't want to do this for real. We really just want to take over the street. Or is that just what you perceive might be the case? Hold on. GC said it's called a street takeover. Duh. Who called it a street takeover? You mean the people who took over the street put out a press release and said this is a street takeover? Or did people call it a street takeover? If the people who are doing it haven't told you this is why we're not doing it because we like doing this. We're doing it because we like taking over the street. Then I would be like, oh, well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. They just like taking over the street. But because we called it a street takeover, don't mean that's their main goal. So GC, who told you? Who called it a street takeover? GC says that's the whole point. Who told you that that's the whole point? Again, because I see where Ron says you can't win. I'm just asking the question. I'm asking the question. You say It's called a street takeover, and you say the whole point is just to take over the street. But who told you that that's the point? Did the people who are doing it tell you that that's the point, or did somebody else tell you that that's the point and they hadn't talked to the people who doing it either? I saw you was it B-Rap? I saw you. I'm gonna get back to that. GC says I keep freezing. I keep freezing. GC, just call me. Call me then. GC says, I think, yeah, see, you finally got it. You got the news. And you know they're always right. Exactly. The news called it that. The news may have suggested to you that that's the whole point. But you don't really know unless you talk to the people doing it. That's when you really know. So to say, well, it won't work because that's not what they want. What are we, the streetcar people? We gonna tell them what they want and what they don't want without talking to them? Well, the news said it, so it must be true. No, no. And we say, well, we don't believe the news. We understand the news don't always tell the truth, but we believe the news when we want to believe the news. Now, sometimes we fall for the trap. Sometimes we fall for the trap. Hold on. Daryl says, E-Man, it is the whole point. We don't see videos of street drifting at state fairground. Have they opened up the state fairground for them to do it? No. So maybe if you open up the state fairground for them to do it, that's where they'll do it. But who told you that that's the whole point, is just to shut down the street? Who told you that? Y'all making some assumptions. The assumptions may or may not be true. But y'all not assuming that it may or may not be true. Y'all making assumptions as if it's 100% fact. Preston says, I like how he started. Yeah, I don't think. Thank you. Thank you. He didn't state it as a fact. He's saying what he thinks and his rationale behind it. I respect that. I respect that. Thank you. Thank you. It's little stuff like that that I'm talking about. Little stuff like that that I'm talking about. That makes all the difference in your comment. Preston says, yes, I don't think they're going to be up for that, meaning a sanctioned car rally. It does seem that they're defying the law with these takeovers. Oh my God. Oh, it feels so good to read a comment that I don't necessarily agree with, but I can't say it's wrong by any stretch of the imagination because he's saying what he thinks and what it seems like to him. That is Preston, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. He didn't say there's no way that they're going to be up for that. They don't want to do that. Their whole goal is to defy the law with the takeovers. See that? Y'all see that? I'm sorry, I gotta dwell on that for a minute. Because that's beautiful. Somebody accepting that they don't know for sure. Sharing that thought. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, let's talk about what he said. I don't know if they'll be up for it. And we don't know if they'll be up for it. Again, I watch a lot of shows. I watch some international stuff. And I don't know if this is 100% true because, but I All right, am I back? Everything shut down on my side. Tiffany says I see a black screen. Myosha says what happened? Am I back? I want to know, am I back? Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I don't. Everything just shut down here. I was talking and out of nowhere, boom, everything went away. Maybe they don't want me to talk about this whole shutting down the street issue. The man trying to stop me from talking. The man don't want us to actually look at issues and be like, I think this and this seems that way. The man want us to run around talking about, no, this is a fact because the media said so. Well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. But we gonna start talking about stuff. If we know it to be a fact, we gonna say it's a fact. And if we believe it, we gonna say we believe it. The man tried to stop me. What's that, Zoe? The man tried to stop me. Use those 8 Emmys to try to get me kicked off the air. That damn Zoe media maestro. But what I was saying was, look, over in the UK, I don't know exactly where. My understanding is there were people doing this, and they opened up tracks. And so now people go to these tracks. And that's when and where they do it. And they draw huge crowds of just onlookers. There are certain safety regulations your car has to meet in order for you to do it. And so people go, and because they allowed them to do it, people go and do it. They buy track day cars. And they, upgrade them, put in the necessary safety precautions. They soup them up if they want to and do whatever, and they put in the necessary safety precautions. And they go drive on the track, they go drift on the track, they go race on the track. Yeah, they do donuts and all that kind of stuff. Because it was something that used to happen, but they kind of sanctioned it. Now, again, the information that I'm getting is, of course, second or third hand, but it's from people who are actually over there building track day cars. In one of the episodes I was watching, the gentleman said, they're talking about track day cars, and he said, let's explain kind of the genesis of this whole thing. And that was what he explained. So it may or may not work. It may or may not catch on here in the States, here in Cincinnati. It may or may not catch on. But my question becomes, what would it hurt? And I saw, and I'm sorry, I meant to get to it. But I saw a comment earlier, which I can't get back to now. I saw a comment earlier that said, hey, but what if somebody get hurt? Then, it becomes the responsibility of, the city, and the city gets sued. Maybe. Or maybe, people can sue the city for all kind of stuff. I got a cousin. Somebody about to get mad. It's not the same thing, Emanuel. I got a cousin who, when we was little, we were at the park, city park, with swings. And he did some unsafe stuff and he broke his hand. Accidents happen. I don't think his parents sued, but they just took him to doctor because he said his hand hurt, and they say, yep, it's broke. So even something as small as a swing set, like, oh no, not don't put no swing sets in the park because if a kid get hurt, they could sue the city. GC says it's not the same thing. Of course, it's not the same thing. If it was the same thing, I wouldn't have had to say it. I'm talking about the logic of the suggestion that if you do something and someone gets hurt, then they'll sue the city. So don't do something. And that can apply to all types of things. If we follow that logic, because what's the logic? Since y'all don't understand, I know y'all don't understand comparisons and analogies and parables and all that stuff. So I try to put it to y'all as simply as I can. The logic of that, at least from my perspective, is the city shouldn't do something because if the city does it and sanctions it and someone gets hurt, the city might be liable. So let's apply that logic to other situations. Let's apply that logic to other situations. Aren't there dangerous things that the city sanctions? But maybe they shouldn't, because if they do, and someone gets hurt, where the city said it was okay to do it, then they could be held liable. Football, that's one of them. Didn't that dude get paralyzed? Or no, he wasn't paralyzed. He died on the field here in Cincinnati. Wasn't that in Cincinnati? Now we done built a whole damn stadium. And a dude got killed on the field and then resuscitated. Nobody's saying, no, we shouldn't sanction football because somebody could get hurt and then the city could be liable. It's different, Emanuel. We're talking about the logic. Forget the difference. We're talking about the logic being used. Hell, just down the street in Kentucky, they got a daggone racetrack where they go like 100 something miles an hour and they crash. Well, we shouldn't have racetracks because somebody could get hurt and then the city where the racetrack is in could be liable. So no racetracks. I remember at Hamilton County Fairgrounds, I got 3 trophies or plaques upstairs because I participated in the Celebrity Demolition Derby. And if you don't know what a demolition derby is, let me explain. They put us in a car. We put on, I think they even cut the seat belts out. I don't remember. They do make us wear helmets. They give us some quick lessons. They wet the mud down. And they say, now ram your car into other people's cars until none of the cars run. And the last car running, they win. It's a legit demolition derby. I participated in, I think, 4 of them. I don't remember what the awards are. I think I never won it. I was top 3 once. I think I was the I forget what the award was, like the Mad Dog winner once. And I think third, I don't remember what the third one was. But yeah, I was in demolition derbies at Hamilton County Fairgrounds. And it was sanctioned by Hamilton County, put on by Hamilton County, where the objective, this is what they told, you ram your car into the other people's cars. Now they did ask us, like, look, try your best not to like go full speed and ram into somebody's driver's side door. But that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the main thing. Try not to, full speed. If you are going at somebody's driver's side door, that's a little too dangerous. So try not to do that. I was in a car. And if you was there, you know I'm not lying about this. Actually, I think there's a video out there. I was in a car once where one car backed up and rolled over the top of my car. And they had to stop to make sure I was safe. Because my car was one of them sports cars with the, kind of aerodynamic. And when the car hit, it literally rolled up my car, smashed the windshield, well, crunched the windshield, because you know how windshields are. They don't shatter. And they came and checked and make sure I was all right. And I was like, I'm all right. That was kind of cool. Like, I'm not hurt. And I watched the car roll over the top of my car. I participated in at least 4 of them. But according to the logic, that should never existed. Because what if somebody get hurt? The county would be liable. The county be liable if somebody get hurt. Oh, it's dangerous. We don't want to do dangerous stuff. How long was the participation waiver? There was none. There was none. We did not sign a waiver. At least I never signed a waiver. This had to be before you got married. No, one of them, Mrs. Livingston, recorded with a. I think she just used a phone. Recorded with a phone. Invited people. I had my own cheering section. But it was dangerous, and the city can't be, because if somebody get hurt, then they might be liable. Oh no! Do I still have the footage? I'm certain I still got the footage somewhere. Of course, the point of all of this, because I get it, is different, Emanuel. It's different. But the logic behind it is the same. And when y'all understand that about analogies and comparisons and parables and shit, when y'all understand that what you're talking about is the logic behind the thing, of course the two things are gonna be different. What redneck radio station were you working for then? I was working for the Buzz. There's a picture of one of my cars. I think the picture of the car is the one that it got rolled over. I think we might have been praised at that time. On my Facebook page, hold on, let me see if I can find a picture of the car. Oh, I'm all logged out of Facebook. Oh no, let's see. Oh no. Y'all can't see all this, I hope. That is me. Stop saying it's not me. Yeah, there we go. Shoot, now I don't even know how to get to my photos. How do I get to my photos? Oh, it's not on here. Okay, it's not on there. Janice remembers when I did it. Hold on. I know I got some of the photos on my phone. At least the photo of the car. I had to keep talking to let y'all know I'm scrolling. I need to delete some of these pictures. I just got pictures from forever on this phone. From back before time. Just pictures and pictures. If somebody told me I got 30 seconds to find a picture of something, or, they was going to do something bad to me, I'd be in trouble. I'll be in some serious trouble. But the bottom line is, I did it. It was dangerous. But that didn't stop it from being sanctioned. And that's y'all logic. It's not the same, Emanuel. It's the same logic. I think it's a good suggestion. It may or may not happen. It may or may not happen. So I'm looking for this car. I don't even see the car. Maybe I'll repost it. I'll find it and put it up there. But it's a good suggestion, and you try it. And here is your worst case scenario, at least in my mind. Here's your worst case scenario. You do it, you put it out there, you make the offer, and nobody shows up. What did you lose? What did you lose? You lost nothing. GC says, it won't happen. Trust me. Why? Why would I trust you on that? You don't have any super insight that makes you any more trustworthy than the vice mayor. Off-topic question. How do you store your footage for your editing work? Are you using cloud backup or servers? I have a small multi-terabyte drive that I keep stuff on, just to back up footage. But I use small SSD drives, and that's where I put my footage on, like 2 terabytes a piece. And not the actual footage, because usually the stuff that I'm editing, I don't have 2 terabytes of footage. So, I'll come home after recording something and then dump all of the footage onto the larger drive. And when I'm ready to edit that footage, I pull it off and I dump it on one of the 2 terabyte drives, SSD drives, and then I plug that in and I edit off of that. I am thinking about adding some servers, but I don't have the money yet. If I could ever get my $5,000 that I won the other day, then I'll be adding some servers. Oh, if I could get my money, I won fair and square, then I'll be adding some servers. But I'm just saying, it's a good suggestion. And I genuinely hope that nothing bad happens to her family, because she made what I think is a decent suggestion. Oh, let me see. There was something else. Jim Jordan. He lost again. Jim Jordan lost again. I don't think first time he lost by 20 votes, lost. He wasn't elected Speaker of the House by 20 votes. Second time, I think it was 22 votes. So he actually lost some Republicans. You kind of want to see that go the other way. Like, all right, I lost. Let me talk to some of y'all. Let's do some haggling, some negotiating. Tell me what you want for you to vote for me. And then we have conversations, Here, the 20 of y'all who said no, what can I do? What y'all want from me? And then you go back and then it's like 18. And you're like, okay, well, I won over two guys. Then, or two people, because, some women. I won over two people. Maybe I can, win over some. But no, you talk to those 20 and they still said no, and maybe convince two other people to be like, you're right. He is a piece of trash. I'm not going to vote for him either. That's terrible. That's terrible. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, it don't matter to me who becomes the speaker. I think that what the Democrats should be doing now, because y'all heard what who's the former speaker? I don't know why. McCarthy. I can't think of his first name. Why can't I think of that man's first name right now? It starts with a K. This is getting irritating. Either way, McCarthy. And if somebody put his first name up there, I would appreciate it. Kevin, thank you. Why couldn't I think of that? Coronavirus. But y'all know he running around talking about it's the Democrats' fault. So how is it the Democrats' fault, McCarthy? They voted to shut down a whole branch of government. What do you mean they voted to shut down a whole branch of government? Well, they voted to remove me. And by removing me, they knew they was shutting down a whole branch of government. Hold on, how are you blaming the Democrats when somebody from your party is the people who brought the motion? And what, you thought they was going to vote to keep you? You telling me that if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez would have brought forth a motion to remove Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House, the Republicans would have voted no? Is that what you're telling me? That's what you're trying to convince me, Kevin, because Jimmy ain't saying it, it's Kevin who's saying it. Kevin, that's what you're trying to convince me? Republicans would have said, oh no, she's too valuable of an asset and we don't want to shut down a branch of government, so please don't remove Nancy Pelosi as Speaker. Y'all have been right on top of it, like, yes, remove her. That's just reasonable. But what I think the Democrats should be doing now, if he want to, do this, it's not working. Like, nobody's buying it. At least I don't think anybody. Well, you got some people who are really gullible out there. He said it in the media, and some of us, if it say it in the media, then it must be true. If the media said it, it's gotta be true. Or if it's on a documentary, it's gotta be true. They say, so what the Democrats should be saying, hold on a second, the Democrats should be saying, look, if y'all really want government to work, all you need is 4 Republicans to vote for Hakeem Jeffries. It's not going to happen. Odds are it's not going to happen. But float the idea. Put the idea out there in the media. Republicans don't want government to work. If they did, all it would take is 4 of them to vote for Hakeem Jeffries, and then we would have the numbers for a speaker. But no, they're choosing to keep government shut down. Is it a ridiculous argument to make? Sure, it is. Just as ridiculous as the idea that the Democrats shut down the government. It's just as ridiculous. Sometimes you fight ridiculous with ridiculous. So, oh, we shut it down, but y'all want it back open? You sure y'all want it back open? You sure? Yes, we're sure. We want it back open. And y'all want to work with Democrats to get it back open? Yes, we want to work with Democrats to get it back open. You sure that's what you want to do? Well, sure. Then 4 of y'all vote with the Democrats. You know the point of doing stuff like that? Even though I have to admit, a lot of times it's not as effective as it could be. I'm going to give y'all an example of why it's not as effective as it could be. But the point of doing stuff like that is to get people to see the error in the logic. So you use the same flawed logic the other way. But the problem becomes, if people understood like logic, first, nobody would buy the idea that the Democrats shut everything down. Logically, everybody would say, that's ridiculous. But they're not. There's some people going with it. So you would hope, that would be step number one. But it's not. So then step number two becomes, okay, I use that same ridiculous logic in an equally ridiculous scenario. And then you hope people are like, that's ridiculous. And you like, it's no more ridiculous than that. And you hope they're like, you're right. It is ridiculous of the Republicans to say that the Democrats should have voted for the Republican speaker. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. But that's not what happens. What happens is, and I'm going to use a different example. It's the same logic, though. It's the same damn logic. I know it's different, but it's the same damn logic. Y'all remember when Nate was on with Lincoln a couple days ago? Was it yesterday? And he brought up the idea that, does Damon Lynch live in the city? Does Joe Mallory live in the city? And people were like, so what? It don't matter. It's Alito, blah, blah, blah. Y'all do understand the point he was making. He was doing what I'm saying. People were saying, this person shouldn't, why do they care? They live in Toledo. This person should, why do they care? They don't live in the city. This person who's yes on 22, but why do they care? They don't live in the city. And the point he was making was, oh, so you got to live in the city to have a valid opinion. Well, does Dwight Tillery live in the city? He's on y'all's side. Are y'all saying that his opinion is invalid because he doesn't live in the city? Does Damon Lynch live in the city? Does Joe Mallory live in the city? But they all have opinions on it that y'all view as valid. So if you're saying my opinion is invalid because I don't live in the city, then you have to also say these people's opinions are invalid because they don't live in the city. Of course, the point being, hopefully people will look at it and say, oh, wait a minute. You don't have to live in the city for your opinion to be valid. But instead, people don't understand when people do things like that. They never tie they focus on not the logic of the argument, but the example. Oh, you hating on Damon Lynch. Oh, you hating on it. Like, no. I'm trying to show you the flaw in the logic that only people who live in the city should have a valid opinion on this issue. I don't agree with him on this issue, but I thought that was a very valid point to make. I know a lot of people didn't get it, and it's so frustrating. Even though I disagree with him on the issue, I thought the logic behind that argument was, I don't want to say brilliant, because it's not, it's like super simple logic. But people like took it and twisted it all different kind of ways. Oh, if he's saying that these people's opinion don't count, then don't he live in Toledo? So why do his opinion count? It's like, no, that's not what he was saying. You just, hold on, let me go to the phone. Hopefully everything works. Key.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? How are you?
Key, I'm doing good. How about you?
All right. Okay, I need you.
Oh.
Yeah, I was listening to you you know what I mean, watching the show, and I told my supervisor, I said, F you, I ain't going back to work. I got to watch the,
Uh-huh.
afternoon experiment.
Right?
And, they
Good for
told
you.
me I got to get out of there, pack my stuff up, and, go to the unemployment line. So you told us if that happened to call you, so
Right.
I need you, Emmanuel.
Well, and here's
So
my solution to that.
ask Mrs. Livingston, could y'all make a spot? Cause,
No. I have a solution for you.
okay, what? Because I'm outside
All right, this is a perfect solution.
holding the box and stuff.
This is a perfect solution. Go
Okay,
home.
what?
Go home,
Okay.
relax, enjoy the rest of your day, right?
Okay.
As if nothing happened. And when you go back tomorrow,
They took my badge and everything, man. I can't
look,
go back.
no, go back tomorrow as if nothing happened. And when they be like, hold on, we fired you yesterday, you tell them, I'm not sure that happened. I don't think you fired me. I think there's some mistake. I forgot my badge. Just let me in. Let me go back to my office. Just pretend like nothing happened.
What? How am I do that, man?
You just go back. Just go back.
I can't go back without a badge. I can't get in the building.
Yes, you can.
And they got a security gate outside, so you got to swipe in that to get in the building.
And you call them and you say, I forgot my badge. Trust me, it's happened to me before. I went to work. There was a security gate.
Tell your boss, so it happened to you. You went to your boss, said, F you. I'm listening to the Lincoln Ware show.
No, hold on. I'm trying to explain to you how you can work this.
Okay.
All right, just trust me. Take my word for this. It's going to work. You will have a job tomorrow. All right? When you go there, you show up, right? And you can't get in. And you'll be like, I'm sorry, I forgot my badge. They used to seeing you, right? They used to seeing you. So they know you work there and I forgot my badge. You gotta sell it. You gotta sell it.
This is the thing about my job, man. You don't understand. They walk you down when they take your badge. So the security guard, they walk me down, and the security guard know they put me out and took my badge. So how I'm gonna swing that, man?
You just tell them it didn't happen. It's like
okay,
the Jedi,
don't believe what you think you saw.
These are not the droids you're looking for. No, nobody walked me down yesterday. You must have. I don't know where you got that from. Just let me in.
Oh,
you got to sell it though. You got to sell it.
But what about today though? I'm out here with a box. And
go home. Go
crazy.
Home. Go home and enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, Jerica Van must have missed the show. I'm just messing with Emanuel, his old goofy self. He was saying, like, tell people if you listening to Emanuel Livingston show, tell them F you at the job if they say you can't listen to it and all that stuff. So I'm just messing with Emanuel.
Oh, but see, now,
I do need you, though. I need you to come pick me up at Chipotle. Okay, I'm at a different one this time. I ain't at the one over there by the hospital.
Here's the question. Do they have cilantro in the rice? Or actually, here's more the question.
Now they don't have the peppers and onions at the one.
That's exactly what I was about to say. The better question is, what don't they have? Because I'm tired of going to daggone Chipotle, and they always ain't got something.
I know they always ain't got something, and then sometimes the key you can't use a credit card. You gotta have cash. Then one time I went, they said you gotta have. Can you give us singles if you got them? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. So that become the question. Like when Mrs. Livingston go and she out and she like, do you want me to bring you anything home? And I'm like, yeah, bring me a bowl. And she go there and she had to call me every time she called me. Like they say they ain't got no lime. I'm like, what do you mean they ain't got no lime? The rice just as regular rice with cilantro in it, but they didn't put no lime juice in it. They ran out of lime juice. Do you still want one? Like, no. They out of black beans here. Do you still want it? No. They out of cheese. You run out of cheese. No, I don't want it.
Oh, I remember that one time they ain't had no cheese. I'm like, that's what you get at the end after you finish getting all the toppings. You put the cheese on it. I'm like, oh my goodness, but we still go back to they sucker or some kind of way.
We do. We
it's
still
like
go back.
Crack or something, because there's something in that food that keep making us go back.
We do. We still go back.
But yeah, thanks y'all Underwood. Your Underwood had my back. Hey, Miss LaDonna, Miss Phyllis, Miss Brenda, Daryl, everybody.
Hold on, I had your back too. I had a whole plan to get you back in. You was gonna enjoy.
Your plan wouldn't have worked because
it would have.
Okay.
Have you tried my plan? Have you ever tried my plan?
I'm telling you, I'm outside right now with a box. You were supposed to come get me. You supposed to take the show on the road. You're supposed to pause everybody.
I had a solution.
Live in the car.
I had a solution.
Key, my faithful listener. I got to go get Key. I got to let Miss Livingston know what's going on.
Key.
I ain't got to pick a little baby up. You supposed to. I'm saying, you supposed to come get me and then explain to me in the car.
Key.
Because you know what I mean.
Key. How did you get to work?
Feel better.
No, how did you get to work?
Huh?
How did you get to work?
See, you drive sometimes, or sometimes I get a ride. It all depends on the mood.
All right then. How did you get to work today? How did you get to work today?
I was making it seem like I didn't have no way, and you was my only way because you told me to call
Hold on.
you.
Don't worry. I'm not concerned about what you was making it seem like. See, this is what people don't understand. As the king of the king of talk, I have this sense of things. It's a special power that's bestowed upon you when you become the king of talk. And so I have this sense of things. And so I knew that you drove to work today. So I knew you could put that box in the car, drive home, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I knew that if you sold it, you could go back to work tomorrow and they'd just completely forget about it.
No, Emanuel, because you told me to call you. You told us to call you. That's the whole point.
Right, for me to give you the plan.
Leave my car there and try to come back tomorrow and try like you did, but maybe not.
Ain't no maybe not. It would have worked. It would have. Look, it would have worked. Now that wouldn't be the advice that I give to everybody, because every situation is different. But for your situation, it 100% would have worked.
Okay, would have worked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just take my word for it. Sometimes you got to use the Jedi mind trick along with other things. Didn't I see him walk you down the hall? You did not see them walk me down the hall.
Use the Jedi mind trick down at the Buzz then, so you can get a check from them, and then you can get a check from Afternoon Experiment. So experiment and experience.
I told you every situation is different. Every situation is different.
So what would you do in this scenario? I know you say you ain't never. Different stuff got to change as far as like monetary wise. But what would you do in this instance?
In what instance?
For yourself. Oh, you said.
I don't understand the question.
Okay, about the Buzz. Like, how would you go back? They done let you go. Or whatever. So, say like you, for example, you said somebody over there. I'm watching Lincoln Ware show. I ain't got to do what y'all talking about because I'm listening. You know what I mean? How would you get back on the Buzz if they let you go?
I did that before.
Okay, at the Buzz?
Yeah.
Or somewhere else?
No, at the Buzz.
What did you say? You said somebody?
Yes.
Okay, who you say to? They must not work there no more.
Yeah, they still work there, so I don't want to say their name.
Okay, well, don't say their name because they probably on the live.
And
okay, but you said, so do you want to tell the story or you don't want to tell the story because they're going to know it's them?
I don't really want to get into it.
Okay, well,
it's emotional.
You can't hear the story. Oh, man.
It's emotional.
Well, okay, I'm trying to lighten the mood or whatever because, it's harsh out here in the world and just trying to make the chat laugh. So, okay, about these, with them ginger snaps. Now, didn't you say about your throat and all of that? Now, you got throat problems, feet problems, and sleeping problems. So why are you eating hard ginger snaps?
Well,
or have you found a method to soften them up?
First, yes, I softened them up. When they
what was your method? How did you figure it out? Remember you were trying to figure it out?
You let them get a little stale, and they
Okay, and
soften
they
up.
soften up. They
And
ain't getting
then
molded, is they?
no, no,
You
no.
know, sometimes when they get soft, they start to mold.
Yeah, no, no, no.
If
Ginger
you don't
snaps
put
don't
them in the
mold.
refrigerator
Ginger
because they're
snaps, it's
green.
not been my experience to ever see any mold on ginger snaps. I think something about the
Okay.
ginger
Oh, your
keeps it
Twitch person said,
from.
"Hey, saying my name." Is that a real Twitch person or is that Blaze? You said
I,
somebody said they think the Twitch person is Blaze.
no, I think it's a real Twitch person. I haven't seen any horribly mistyped words and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I don't know what's your Twitch person name? Is it PC Open Haver
P.
43?
Copenhaver.
Okay. Hey, they saying hey. Okay,
But
they must like the
but
show we giving them.
here's what you do. Here's what you do. You I see. I know when I say this, people gon' because they minds be other places, but I just have to
Yours do
say it.
too,
No, it don't.
Mister
Yeah, my mind is
Laying
always
Pipe.
on the
Yours do
mine
too.
is always on the up and up. But what you have to
Uh
do
huh.
is you have to suck them. You got to suck them.
Before you,
You
okay, you talking
you
about, and then let them
you
sit and
you
get soft.
yeah, you put them in your mouth. You gotta
Okay.
moisten them a little bit, and then
Why not just put water on them or something? Why you
no
got to do
no
all of that?
no no. You put them in your mouth.
Okay, but you got to make sure you brush your teeth first because you don't want them smelling like
What
breath when you go back to
what?
eat them. So make sure you brush your
Look,
teeth first.
Key. I'm trying to help you. You put them in your mouth.
Okay.
You moisten them up because everything is better moist. You moisten them up. You put them in your mouth. You and you suck them.
Uh huh.
You suck them. You suck. You just suck them.
Okay.
You keep it moist while you suck it. You
Okay.
keep it moist, and then
It's
you know
always moist.
you use your see this. It sounds like I'm trying to say something that I promise you I'm not really trying to say, but you got to use your tongue.
Wait a minute, man. You're doing too much. Okay, people know just sit it in your mouth and just let it sit in your mouth.
No,
People know that part.
no.
It's gonna be sitting on your tongue when it's in your mouth.
But you
You
got to
doing too
use
much.
your. Oh my god! It
Okay.
sounds like I'm trying to be funny and pornographic, but I'm
Uh huh.
not. I'm
So
telling
you
you,
really trying to give everybody a show.
this is how the best way to eat ginger snaps.
Okay.
You let them get a little soft, or, stale. You put them in your mouth. You make sure they're moist. I mean, yeah, you use your own mouth fluids to make them a little moist, and you suck them. And then you kind of break them up with your tongue against the roof of your mouth.
Read Jerica comment. Read Jerica comment out loud. Read Jerica Van comment
That
out
is
loud.
that is not what I said. We talking about something else. But I'm just saying there's a good way to eat ginger snaps. You don't just want to go
So you figured
crunch
out the
them.
method to your
They're not as delicious.
Okay, now what about your did that made you feel like you about to throw up or your throat with your throat situation? I forgot the term you said you had, but did that so that make it better for you with that little thing you got going on?
Well, I mean, I still, have some distress when I eat, typically the first meal of the day. And that first, when you first swallow that first bite of food, it's not every day, but some days, yes, it hurts. And you just got to fight through it and push it down, unless, every once in a while it's too bad. And then, yeah, you kind of, regurgitate it and start over.
So hot fluids don't help that, like with your
No, no,
so drinking hot fluids won't help it
uh-uh.
when you eating and stuff.
Nope. Just something.
Okay.
It's something either I just have to go through it, or I could call the doctor and make another appointment for them. This it don't sound right, but it's the truth, for them to stretch my esophagus.
Yeah, and then so how often if somebody has to get that done? Get
I'll
your
be honest, I
esophagus
don't remember because it's been years since I did it, but I was doing it regularly, so I want to say maybe once every 6 months, or
And so what, do they have to put you to sleep every
yes,
time?
yes.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, they put you under, you're sedated,
Okay.
and they do what they do, and then you wake up, and
Okay.
that's that.
Yeah, that'll do it. What about the CPAP machine? Did you get around to cleaning that, or you?
It is good and clean, but I still don't use it.
Every time you use it,
I
but
don't
you
use it on a regular basis, so
Okay, but you make sure you clean it after you get finished using it. So if you need it next time, you go back to it.
well, I if I wanted to use it tonight, I gotta clean it.
Oh yeah.
Even though I
Okay.
cleaned it last time, but it's been sitting for a while,
Right,
and I just,
sitting.
you don't trust it, so something
Right.
is
Yeah,
going
you
on with
gotta
it. So
clean
if I
it.
wanted to
If
use it
if it
tonight,
ain't in no container covered up or whatever, if it's collecting the dust and air from around.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Okay, and then your underwood want to call in, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Them yellow orchard, they that your grandbaby like the flower ones, the lemon ones, they got a nasty aftertaste. I don't like them.
What?
Have you tasted them
Yes, I've tasted
lately?
them. They're delicious. Now, I have to
No, they got
admit,
an
I like the orange
aftertaste.
ones better than the lemon, but they're delicious.
You taste the aftertaste on them? They
No,
got an
I
aftertaste.
don't
Or
taste
maybe
an
the ones I
aftertaste.
got had it was stale or something. Then.
Yeah, no, I don't taste an aftertaste, but I don't eat Kroger cake because Kroger cake has an aftertaste to me. So I can't eat Kroger cake, and nobody else can taste this aftertaste. But to
Oh,
me,
okay.
it has this terrible, almost moldy bread tasting aftertaste.
Oh, okay. You said think Kroger cake
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
Hmm.
So I
Well,
can't
maybe
eat
that
Kroger
cake
cake.
was molded that time, or is every time you get done had one?
No, no, it wasn't. It's just because I'll be, at a birthday party. Even though now I ask ahead of time, like, where'd you get the cake from? And if they say Kroger, I'll be like, I'll pass. And again, it's not Kroger is nasty. It's just I don't know what it is about their cake, what ingredient they use, but it affects me in that way because everybody else be like, "Oh, this is delicious," but for me, I'll be like, "It's got an aftertaste." And some people have tried to trick me, which I don't understand why you would do that. But people have tried to trick me, like, oh, this cake came from somewhere else and give it to me. And I'll be like, well, this got an aftertaste too. And then I won't eat it. Well, it was Kroger cake. I was just trying to see if you could tell. And I'll be like, why would you do that? If I told you I don't like it, why would you give it to me? But they be trying to test me and see if it's the Kroger cake that do it. But yeah, to me, it has an aftertaste. I think sometimes like that's why I'm not saying that those Archway lemon cookies don't have an aftertaste to you. It may just be some ingredient that's reacting to you and you can taste the aftertaste, but I don't.
Yeah, I was salty too. I was like, oh man. But I had to, like you said, when you was talking about Mr. Livingston about the Kool-Aid, I had to eat them all because I paid for them instead of throwing them away. I
That's
said, I ain't
right.
throwing these away. I said, I'm going to eat all these, even with this aftertaste. So
Even with the
I forced my
aftertaste.
way through them. I was like, ugh, I know not to buy these no more. They got nasty aftertaste. What about your grandbaby and the bullying and stuff? I ain't heard you talk about that. Is that everything cool with that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought I gave an update on that.
You
Yes,
might have, but I probably,
her
you ain't been on the regular schedule, so I've been missing you sometimes.
her dad came in, flew into town, and her mom and her dad met with the teachers. They met with the students' parents and the administration and everything, and they handled everything like quick, fast, in a hurry. And now the little girl now the little baby says when I pick her up from school, that's my bully right there. She trying to be my friend, but she don't want her to be her friend because it's her bully.
Right, exactly. Gone somewhere, kick rocks. You tried to bully me.
Yeah,
Trying
but
to
she
hear.
she she trying to be her friend now. I did tell her it's okay to forgive her, but
Right,
she
but
don't want to. She don't
but
want to.
just
She ain't there yet.
right. Like she probably thinking like forgive for her mean like play with her. So you know what I mean?
Well,
Like I forgive you, but I'm gonna stay on the other side.
she said the
Like you
little
was
girl
wrong.
she ain't did nothing to her. She trying to be nice to her and she trying to be her friend. She just not with it. She just you not my friend.
Exactly, because
You are
she's
my
been going
bully.
through it too long. She ain't on it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's good because I know you were saying the parents was not trying to meet at first, which was crazy, but that's good. All righty, well, everybody telling me to stay on, but I'm has CK been on today? He was on earlier,
He
wasn't
was
he?
on yesterday. He was
Oh,
on
okay, that was
yesterday.
yesterday. Okay, well somebody else call in or whatever, cause I'm running out of stuff.
All right. Hey, Key, I appreciate your support and your call.
All right, everybody like, subscribe, thumbs up. You gonna be on tomorrow?
I intend on it, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Not. Did she say remind? Wait a minute.
You sitting there reading the comments.
I know because GC talking about I remind her of CK. Now come on now, or she just talking about somebody else.
Maybe she's talking about the length of the call.
Oh, maybe. Well, I'm trying to keep y'all laughing. That's why I'm going back and forth with Emmanuel because I'm trying to lighten the mood with everything that's going on in the
Was the
world.
mood
So I'm just trying
heavy?
to bring some laughter. Well, with the railways and then like what's going on, in Israel and shootings. Every time you turn around, it's a shooting in the city, and it's just heavy. You know what I mean? Right now, you don't think it's heavy in the world right now?
Well, yeah, the world is heavy, yes.
Right. So I come every time I come on here, I always try to do something like that silly and uplifting. So anything I say on here, it don't be for real. It be just just to be silly and
Well,
make
Key,
people laugh and smile.
yeah, I appreciate that. You are the reason that somebody smiled today, and that's
Exactly. I'm
that
making
makes me
myself
happy.
smile as well. You know what I mean? Because
Yes,
I need some of this positive energy and laughter too. You know what I mean?
yes.
So it ain't just for somebody else; it's for me too.
All right.
All righty, man. You enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody in the chat. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, Key. All right, that was Key. I like that. I tell y'all every day, be the reason somebody smiles today. I like that, and I mean that when I say it. Like I really do every day. I try to be the reason that somebody smiles. Because you never know what people are going through and, how people are handling life. People put on a good face. People put on a good face, and you never know what somebody might be going through. And so there's something just to smiling. Um, I'm thinking about doing something. But forget about that. I was going to mention something, but I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to mention that. I got a call coming in. Caller. Caller?
Oh, okay. It didn't come through. It's Jason.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little bit off topic. I did some research, and I'm on the fence about the railroad.
Okay, where were you with it before?
Absolutely not.
All right. And what research did you do? Or what?
Well, I just looked up.
Yeah, what did you find out? I guess more.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I thought it was all of what you could see off the viaduct, all that railroad there. And apparently it's just a rail line that runs almost to the bottom of Tennessee.
Yes, 300 something miles of rail line. Yes.
See, I was off on that. I thought they were getting everything behind Union Terminal and all that. And that's why I was like, no, that's kind of light. But it still seems kind of light for that much track. But now, instead of them trying to push it through and act like it ain't nothing, and we should just, or not we, because I don't live in the city, everybody should just say yes so they can get that money. They should have just said that from the jump. Like, because I'm on the fence, because if you're not going to do nothing with the railroad except for lease it out, then, yeah, let it go. You don't have any other plans for it. They're going to give you 3 times what it's worth, which I'm kind of interested in why they're giving them 3 times what it's actually worth.
Where did you get that that's 3 times what it's worth?
Well, it said it was worth, what they said, they're giving 1.6.
Yeah.
I looked on other sites. I was Googling and going to different sites and reading different stories, but they all had the consensus that track is only worth 600 and something, 680, so a little bit under 3 times the value of the track.
Here is what I know a few people who work in real estate, and here's what I know. Or here's what I've been told multiple times. Any property, asset, anything like that, your car even, somebody can put a value on it, but it's worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for it. That's what it's worth. Or whatever you want to sell it for. Look, if you got an old beat down jalopy and you say, I want $12,000 for this car, anybody could look at the car and say, man, that car is only worth $400. What? Everybody say it's only worth $400, and you like, well, I want 12,000. You determine what it's worth. Now, of course, that's different than, like, you go like the KBB book, whatever, Blue Book or whatever, and get what they assess as the value. So I guess, and I don't know what the actual assessed value of that 300 something miles of rail line is, but in my mind, and that's just in my mind, it's worth more than some $600 million. So I don't.
Well, I only threw that number out there because that was like the consensus number on a bunch of different sites that weren't affiliated with each other. So
Okay.
That's the only number I had to go off of.
All right.
And on the other end of it, if everybody wants more money because we want more money to spread around to everything, the lease is only for another 25 years. So if we're gonna be, if you're just gonna be bitter about it because they don't want to give you no more money, well, we're gonna get it for these next 25 years. It's only 25 million. Yeah, okay. Then at the end of that 25 years, you're in trouble.
How?
Not the city, the railroad. Like, there's other railroad companies out here. You obviously need that line. So what you want to do with it?
So
I feel like they should force their hand. I feel like they should just force their hand. Like, look, 2.2 sounds better because that's what we want. We want to give 3CDC $2 billion and then give the rest to the city.
So I'm not understanding then, because you started out by saying you changed your mind and now you are in favor of the sale. But
No,
sounds
I
to
said I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence.
Oh, okay.
I'm not in favor or not in. I'm not for or against.
Okay. Well,
Because I feel like if you're not gonna use it and you're just gonna have it be a useless asset, get the 1.6. But if you actually have a plan for it, which they don't, then do whatever your plan is.
well, I don't know that
that's
that doesn't necessarily sound logical to me. Right?
Why not?
Well, let's say that you have a home, right? That you own and you lease. And you make a good amount of money leasing that, to the point that if I do the math, over 25 years, that even if I take what I perceive as very low assessment of what the railroad is worth, over the 25 years on that lease, I'll make what the railroad is worth and then some, right?
True.
So why would you then sell that house if you are making on the lease more than it's worth? Why would you sell it and just take that money? Like, you tell me what person, and maybe it exists out here, what person owns real estate? I know GC owns real estate. GC, can I buy your real estate? And then you just take the money and put it in the bank and live off the interest.
No, that makes sense in the housing. I see what you're saying, but in this instance, like, it's the city. Like, for whatever reason, the city wants the money. They're probably broke because they don't know how to manage money. Cincinnati's really bad at that. But they want some money. So if you want some money, if that's the option they put on the table for themselves, all I can do is judge it based off the options that they put on the table. It's either a yay or a nay, and I can't go either way.
Well, I heard,
Good thing, because I don't live in the city.
I don't know if this is true. I heard Mr. Ware today say, look, in order to get the $1.6 billion, what the railroad company will do is take out a loan. But the payments that they'll make on the loan will be more than they were paying to the city. But they will own the asset after that, which says to me that the company understands the value of owning that asset, so much so that they're willing to pay more for it. According to you, they're willing to pay more than it's worth, and they're willing to pay interest on a loan and larger payments than they have been paying to get the usage of it, because they understand the value of owning that asset. Now, if the rail company understands the value of owning that asset, why don't the city?
You got to ask your boy Aptab.
All right.
That's not a Jason question. I mean, I'm on your side. Your logical thinking is logical thinking, and I can get on board with that. Their thinking is, I don't know what they want to do with that 1.6 and where it's really gonna go, but they want that 1.6.
They do. They want that 1.6. They want that 1.6.
I don't know, but that's all I really had on that. And now, since Brent hasn't called in a while, I'm going to do the wrestling report. I'm going to steal his thunder. He ain't called. And don't call, Brent, because it's too late. So, I didn't like how Raw went down last night, or Monday night, because it was Wednesday. Yeah. Did you watch it? Did you see it?
I think I saw parts of it. I didn't watch the entire show, but what did you not like?
I didn't like the way the tag team titles changed hands.
Oh, well, I don't look. I kind of expected that Judgment Day would win the tag team title, so I wasn't surprised at the end when they won. However, I don't think they're booking the tag team titles correctly. First, I want them to split the titles up, and I have a way that they could split the titles up, and it would be really good. But I think they need to split them up, and they need to develop some legit tag teams instead of just throwing two people together to be a team. They need to develop some legitimate tag teams, because just historically speaking, that's a way to get maybe lesser experienced people, more experience in the ring, to then transition them to singles stars. And I think that would be a good thing for them to do. So I don't mind them putting the tag team titles on the Judgment Day, though.
I just didn't like. I don't like. I don't know what the Cody Rhodes story is, but it feels like it's the same old song of how they played him before.
Well, and I think that's just it. He doesn't really have a story right now, because I believe that they're setting him up to be the next big thing. So he's gonna, maybe at WrestleMania, he'll end up wrestling Roman Reigns, and he'll be the one that takes the title off of Roman Reigns. But they gotta have something for him to do in the meantime. And so, yeah, putting him in this tag team, he wins the title. It keeps him in the limelight and all of that kind of stuff. But I think they don't have a good story for him, because they're holding that spot for him. That's what I think.
So do you think they're going to let Damian Priest cash in and get one of them major titles? Or is he going to fail like a few people before him?
I think he'll cash in on Seth, or whoever is has the WWE championship, or the world, whichever one that one is that Seth has. I think eventually they'll let him cash in on that and win it. And then he and Finn Balor will end up breaking up the Judgment Day over that title.
Because Finn isn't, I can agree with that. And it's about time that, you see they got Jade Cargill, right?
Yes.
I'm ready. Whose belt is she going to get? Because you know she's not just coming there to be no jobber or no, titleless woman.
I don't think they should put the title on her, though, real fast. I think they should let her do like they did in AEW and just let her dominate people, and kind of be somebody who's chasing the title. Maybe, have somebody, whoever has the title, have them keep ducking her.
I can see, I don't know. They already got a person like that. It's called Charlotte, or she's called Charlotte Flair. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting.
Just like it's going to be interesting to see how they tie all this bloodline stuff back together, that they actually acted like they ended, and now it's back on.
I don't think they're going to tie that together. I think what they want to do is build up Jay and Jimmy as singles competitors,
No.
and then have them headline WrestleMania in a few years.
But see, that's still beefing. That's still the bloodline beef.
Well,
Because you know Jimmy, or I can't remember. The one
yeah, I
that's
don't
still
remember
talking
which
to
is which
Roman
either.
is the one who came out and cost him the tag title.
Yes.
So I didn't like that. I was like, but and I know you can feel me on this, or at least agree with me. If they don't get John Cena out of here,
Oh,
dude don't do nothing but sit in the corner. It's like he don't even want to wrestle. Like, dude, go somewhere. Like,
I've
you don't
actually
need
never
not
liked
The
John
Rock.
Cena, so yeah, they get rid of him. Get
What do you
rid of
think
him.
about LA Knight? I think he's one of them titles. Some title is about to hit his hand. He's too hot right now. And you know, in the WWE, if you sell merch, they got to give you something because they want people to keep buying your merch.
Yeah, not a fan of LA Knight at all.
What?
Not a fan of his at all.
Oh, let me talk to you for a minute. I can't believe that.
I
That guy.
don't understand what the draw is, why people are so high on him. I don't get it.
I guess it's just one of them. You either like the person or you don't.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and you was at earlier. That's enough for the wrestling report. That's it. If Brent wants to call in another day and give the AEW wrestling report, he can. But I'll take the WWE for a while. But you asked why is it called a takeover? I forget where that started, but the whole point of the takeover is to actually take over an intersection, do burnout,
Wait,
serve
hold on.
the public.
So here's my
Fun.
question. Hold on. Here's my question. Who called it a takeover?
That would be one of them things where somebody would have to step forward and say, I'm the one that created the takeover.
Or, I mean, where did you get the term takeover? So you talked to one of the people who's doing it and they told you this is a takeover.
No, you just go on Instagram and then you see a bunch of videos of people taking over an intersection.
And they call it a takeover.
Yeah, you hashtag takeover and the videos will pop up.
Okay.
I don't know why they couldn't explain that to you earlier, but there's the answer for that.
All right. It was just a question. I didn't know who said it, if it was just the media calling it a takeover or the people doing it calling it a takeover. But you're saying for sure the people here in Cincinnati are posting videos of it and they're calling it a takeover.
Whoa. No. I don't know what they're calling it. I've not seen videos of people do it here. I'm just saying videos I see online.
But we're talking
That'll
about
be
here
in
in
the
Cincinnati.
Well, I mean, if they're doing the exact same thing, I mean, unless they came up with a Cincinnati term for it, I'm gonna guess they call it a takeover too.
All right.
But they're kind of silly. If you watch them, they're kind of funny when people get hit by cars because they don't know not to stand out while people are doing burnout. Hilarious.
That doesn't sound funny to me at all.
It's very if you watch it, it's very funny. You'd be surprised how far a body flies when a car hits. They don't get hurt. Well, okay. They get hurt, but it's not like they die. They do be dazed and confused.
All right. Hey, I got Blade calling in. Let me get Blade in here.
Oh, forget Blade before I go, because you gave Key like 50 minutes. She was on so long, she forgot to say her damn catchphrase. I'm mad at
she did say it.
But all right,
she
Blade.
did say it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I guess I wasn't listening. Sorry, Key. I shouldn't have disrespected you like that. All right, I guess it's Blade's turn.
All right. Hey, Jason,
All right.
I appreciate your call.
Yep.
All right. Blade, I missed your call. Call back. There you go. Blade.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Do that young generation, do they know me or something?
Well, you're a regular caller to the Lincoln Ware show, and there's a lot of carryover between the two.
You know, I must be famous to the young people because you know I got another movie coming out. They talking about it now. Hey, I want to. It's hard for me to say this, but I agree with everything you said today. And you're a young guy. Tell him to go back and do his research. The media called it the takeover because they when they was down here, that's what they was doing. It was a buzzword, so they can criminalize them. That does that. But my personal feeling, they are criminal because they are breaking the law because you're causing traffic to be back up and you're tearing up the streets and you're in other people's neighborhoods and you're not a taxpayer.
I agree.
To do all that. So the taxpayers, we have to pay for that. And the parking lots that they are tearing up, them people that own that have to pay for that. Hey, I wanted to ask you something because I don't know. I think you caught it. Is Ashley a lawyer?
I don't think Ashley is a lawyer. She didn't say that she was a lawyer, or at least I don't
Because
recall her saying that she was a lawyer.
Because I was wondering who was itching to make her call in, because she was like traveling, selling her pitch. I don't know what, she was in the car, and it seemed like she just had to call in, because I heard this buzzword, because I do have some property down there, and I'm a taxpayer. She said if you don't live there, it's really, I'm just putting it in my words. She's saying if you don't live there, it's really not your business what Cincinnati does. And I think it's starting to get around that you're starting to fight back. But I just don't want to, you may not agree with this, but it seems like every time when as the man want us to do something, they always put black against black. And it's sad that Ashley don't know. This is my personal opinion. It's sad that Ashley don't know she's being used.
Here's why I might disagree with you. If I recall correctly, which she's a part of a I think I'm gonna say a PR firm or something like that.
Right.
She knows that she's hired specifically to push this issue. That's that's the understanding. Like when they wrote the check, so she understands she's being used, but that's her business.
Yeah, that's her business. But as you said earlier, she is pushing out some propaganda.
Yes.
And another thing, when you was on your boy's show, your friend's show, I forgot his name, 'cause I really don't listen to young people. The young lady, in her own little words, that was a threat towards your family. So when we put that like that, that is wishing something on somebody's family. And you are right. I know you was nice because you was on his show. That was out of order, and we shouldn't wish nothing on anybody else's family. And it's hard. It's really hard for me to agree with you, but I do agree with you. But we got to be careful. And just because I don't live there, I do have some stake down there. I got property down there, and I think Ashley calling on the air like she really got some power. It's my opinion. She's, I know you don't agree. You don't whatever. She's a puppet, pushing out propaganda. Y'all shouldn't sell that, because maybe y'all should ask the other cities and towns some to come in and get some opinions. But it might be too late. But don't. You never give away real estate. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And that's all I got. But I didn't know I was so famous to the young generation. They look up to me. Peace out.
All right. All right. That was Blade. And again, I don't care where you stand on the issue. I don't care. I know where I stand on it. I allow that everybody has a different, or has the right to have their own view. So whatever your view is. Again, for me, I don't like it. I don't like people putting out misinformation or using scare tactics and all of that kind of stuff. That I don't like. Give actual information. Give actual information and let people make up their minds. I'm with that. Let me see. Anything else? There was something. This happens every day. There's something else that I know I wanted to talk about, and then I'll get off of here, and then I'll be like, oh, that was what I wanted to discuss, but I forgot. But okay. I'm going to take this call, and then I got to go, y'all. Brent.
There can never be too much wrestling talk on the afternoon experiment. How dare Jason say I can't call in? How dare he?
Well, what's going on, Emmanuel?
Nothing much. Nothing much. What's on your mind?
Yeah, and I'm going to talk WWE. AEW, I really haven't watched that much other than Edge making it over there. Glad for him, make that money as long as he's healthy and doesn't get hurt. Hey, I ain't got no problem with it. Just gives you more matchups that he could have and gives the wrestling fans more enjoyment.
All right.
But, yeah, on the WWE, speaking of the consolidated belts and the championships, I really didn't like that they created that consolation championship belt because they didn't want to take the belts off of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
They really could have easily have separated that belt and even separated the tag team belts by doing a what they call it, a triple threat match.
There you go.
First fall wins the WWE belt, second fall wins the World Championship belt, or whatever they call it.
Well, I don't like that idea, but I like the idea of a triple threat match, right? And so you have, and you do it like a Texas tornado type match where, everybody's in the ring, of course, at the same time. And you have someone from both teams, like, the champions, they both get down, they both get pinned at the same time by two, opposing people. So then they have to make the decision. Well, both teams won. Both teams beat the defending champions at the same time. What do? Give one of them the Raw title, give one of them the SmackDown title, and there you go. You done split it up.
That'll work. That'll work too. And I just don't like with just the singles title. Whatever happened to the 30-day rule? If you didn't defend your belt within 30 days, you were stripped. The last time Roman did his belt was at SummerSlam? Or what? No, it wasn't even SummerSlam.
I don't even remember the last time he defended his belt.
Exactly. He's just stacking up days, and they're giving him days off of both belts, and that's just they doing that Bill Goldberg math now with how many days he's been champion.
Yeah.
But just to pivot off of wrestling, the hospital bombing over there in Israel. Man, with that one, I guess where I am on that is what does it benefit Hamas, who almost every country considers it a terrorist organization? What does it benefit them to blow up a hospital full of their own fellow Palestinians? Well,
the argument is that the benefit is to attempt to make it like Israel did it. If you understand, like, I'm going to blow it up, but I'm going to say Israel blew it up. And then that way Israel looks bad. So that's the way that people are kind of spinning it. Like, they blew it up, but they blaming it on Israel.
Yeah, but even when you look at that, I've seen some different charts and everything, and it's charting the deaths on, Israel side and on the Palestinian side. And goodness, it's more like, 30-1, if not more than that. I don't know what the exact ratio is. But if people haven't been I don't like that they're conflating Hamas and the Palestinians as one monolithic group, because there are Palestinian Christians in there, there's Palestinian Muslims, and that's like saying one black person does something and all black people. It's almost similar to the white riots back in the day, where one black person would get accused of something, they'd go through Rosewood, Tulsa, Elaine, Arkansas, Detroit, everywhere in between, and wipe out all the black people. So to me, this whole conflict now is giving me vibes of that, where you give them 24 hours to evacuate over 1 million people to where? I don't know.
Right.
They have borders, crossings that they could go. They're citizens of Israel, even though they're in the what people have done and open air prison. But they want them to go down to Egypt, and if I'm the Palestinians looking at it from their standpoint, hold up, you just trying to do a bigger land grab and level the whole city. Next thing I know, I come back, you done changed the wall. And now you done put up settlements where we used to live.
In my mind,
so it's just it's so muddied and messy. It's ridiculous.
in my mind, Brent, there was so much flawed with that. We giving y'all, what was it, 2 days to evacuate stuff.
Yeah.
There was so much flaw with that, and different organizations from around the world said, ain't nowhere in the world all those people can evacuate in 2 days. Just not, and so they knew that wasn't even infeasible. But again, it makes for a better story. Potentially, it makes for a better story worldwide to play. Look, we're sensitive. We gave them time to evacuate before we did anything. And it for some people it played better than just going on ahead and doing it.
Yeah, and there are only certain roads that they can travel on, and then you bomb that road, including a ambulance. Yeah, it's just the mental gymnastics with some of it that you have to do in order to justify what you're doing. But my whole thing is for not necessarily Hamas, but when you think of even you go back with the 9/11 and folks like that are suicide bombers. When you've gotten to the point to where you're able to convince someone to strap a stick of dynamite to them tail and blow themselves up, man, you're dealing with either some desperate or brainwashed or a combination. I don't know. Maybe that's how they feel. That's all they can do in order to maybe gain some friend support. And even from the different stories I've been seeing is that Hamas was actually quasi created by Israel in order to divide support for the PLO, back with Yasser Arafat. So there's so much with everything that's going on, and maybe sometime in the future we'll find out more details, or even that Egypt told them, Israel, something big gonna happen, and other people were telling them something big gonna happen, and then the next thing you know, how they don't have control of the airspace, so how in the world was dude paragliding? Where did he get off high enough to be able to paraglide in to do his little, G.I. Joe attack?
I don't know. But again, all of this stuff, all of the stories, I don't believe any of them 100%. I just don't.
Yeah.
And that's why I default to, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. There's so much going on, and I'm surprised gas prices haven't gone up. They're down here. They're actually $2.84 a gallon for regular unleaded.
Yeah, I just saw $2.99 a gallon.
Yeah, because there's stuff like that, especially if it even happens in the Middle East or near the Middle East. That gives the refiners, the Exxon Mobil's, BPs of the world, well, we're gonna jack up prices because this may screw up supply. So I'm surprised that hasn't happened, but.
Well,
yeah,
if I don't know anything
crazy.
else, here's what I know. Anything that go wrong in the world is Joe Biden's fault. Anything that go right in the world, Donald Trump did it. So,
well, you listen to some of them, Donald Trump is still president.
Yeah.
So, which is, that's a whole nother story dealing with some of them folks who, that's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna touch that. But I was transitioning back home. Give you a call real quick before I have to get back on the clock. So, hey, have a good weekend. And Jason, don't tell me when I can't call in about wrestling.
Brent, I appreciate your call.
All right, take it easy.
All right. LaDonna says $2.99 where? Up there, Springdale Thorntons off of 75. It was $2.99 a gallon. That's what it was this morning. Caller.
Hey, man, how's it going, buddy?
It's going all right.
All right. I'm just chiming in on the whole this whole Middle East thing, and I guess one, I knew as soon as the president stepped out on his platform and said we stand basically lockstep with Israel, I'm like, his numbers are going to tank. Reason being is because if you're seeing anything, of course, everyone's more on social media than looking at the news that's burping up the same, like you're saying, the same circle of, Israelis are in trouble and we got to help them, blah, 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 blah. But then you see all this chaos and all these babies just being slaughtered as they're looking for air quotes Hamas. And I was thinking to myself, this has been something that they've been trying to do for a very long time in controlling that Gaza Strip. And to me, it just rings of, we're going to say we're doing this, but we're actually doing that. And I mean, it's almost comparable to me as the 12-year-old and a 7-year-old. Now, granted, a 7-year-old could punch you in the stomach and they could really hurt, maybe even bring tears to your eyes. But a 12-year-old can obviously pummel a 7-year-old. And this is what's going on. And at some point, the narrative has to change that, look, I assume that's what he's doing over there now. It's like, you got to stop. This is ridiculous. You are committing war crimes. You haven't found anything, and yet and still all these babies are dying. And this is just a really bad space where America finds itself.
Well, again, I don't know if any of the stories are true. I mean, I can believe what I want to believe and all that kind of stuff. I do believe that there's some terrible treatment of Palestinians by Israel. My understanding of the history of this entire conflict is sketchy at best. But
True.
that's what I don't know who did what, and I don't know the reason for somebody doing. Like I said, why would Hamas do the things that they've done? But they're painted to us as evil terrorists.
Exactly.
I don't like any of it. I pray for all sides involved, and I don't know.
Absolutely. And I think as human beings, we can hold both thoughts in the same walking step.
Yeah.
You can definitely say that Hamas what they've done is an atrocity, but we can also say what's going on currently is in some ways, I'm not saying comparable, but in a way it's worse, because all these babies that are continuously being shown. And and as you say, the cliff notes that I understand, and I'm not going to go into the top of the lines or whatever, but if you have a house, you've been living in this house for a while, and I don't know, somebody walks up and says, "Hey, we used to live in this house, so now we're going to live in the house as well, and we're going to take half of it." When you're like, "Well, no, we've been here," and so then somebody's big brother or whatever, the government comes and says, "Nah, let them have that half of the house, and you have this half of the house." Now that's never been stopped, to really hash it out. It's kind of like, we're just going to throw that in there. And then every so often you see that you're losing more of your house, that you should have never had to agree that it was your house, even if you lived there prior to. And I know that's not really indicative of all the information of what's happened, but what I'm seeing as far as the laws that the Israelis can place on the Palestinians is almost it echoes of things that they have went through before the Holocaust. And it's amazing to me that it just doesn't seem like, you would think that there would be some type of, I don't know, your heartstrings should be pulled at it. Like, look, this is not right. Even what's happened, deal with it, and then actually go in there surgically and try to figure this out. But what's going on now is just, I don't know, it's horrific. And I mean, again.
What's your name?
I just want to throw my 2 cents. Well, I didn't want to get my name, but I just, I was listening to the callers, and it's just been on my chest for a little bit. But I'm enjoying the show, man, and you're doing a great job.
I appreciate it. All right.
No worries. Have a good one.
All right. He didn't want to give his name. So there's that. I let him get away with it because I got to go. I got to get to Bible study. Y'all know y'all done held me over an additional 30 minutes, and I don't do that. Hey, I appreciate all of y'all for hanging out with me for this extended period of time. I see some people saying they cooking, they getting ready to go, they got to eat, and I got to go do Bible study. Again, I appreciate y'all. If you are out and about, do me one favor. Be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm Emanuel Livingston. This has been the Afternoon Experiment. I'm out, y'all. Peace.